Oh my God, look at that! The clouds are parting, and the heavens are sending us a message from above. Our eyes squint and adjust to the heavenly glow when we finally can understand what it says.
Hey, read Chainsaw Man.
Oh my God!
Okay, so believe it or not, I actually had a tough time putting the script for this video together. But not because there wasn't much to say, but because I actually have too much I want to talk about. A quick disclaimer, this video will not contain any major plot twist or character spoilers for the series. I will, however, discuss minor plot points and briefly explain what the story and series is about. So if you're new to the series, or manga in general, stick around. And if you've already read the series, then you should still listen. You might find some new appreciation for Chainsaw Man, or some inspiration to reread it. I mean, it's not like you really have a choice. The door behind you is already locked and there's no other way out. So how about it? Let's kill some time and some devils and talk about Chainsaw Man. So let's say you're going into the series completely blind and you want to at least know what it's about before starting it up. So, the story revolves around Denji, a poor and orphan teen who's racked up some inescapable debt with the Yakuza, that debt being over 38 million yen. Denji will do anything for money, even going as far as to sell one of his eyes and testicles for a little bit of cash. But his primary source of income is hunting devils, this world's equivalent of cursed spirits or demons in a sense. Despite his life being rather unorthodox, Denji really only dreams of having a normal life. He dreams of being able to eat more than once a day, to be able to have friends, and to even have a girlfriend. And after another set of unfortunate circumstances befall Denji, he's given the power of the Chainsaw Devil, and he now hunts devils to his heart's content as a newly reborn man. A Chainsaw Man, to be specific. Compared to many other shonen protags, for example, Naruto, Luffy, Deku, Asta, Ichigo, Tanjiro, and even Goku to some extent, Denji doesn't have outlandish goals of becoming the best or strongest devil hunter, or saving the world from devils and making it a better place. He really only wants to live the life that he couldn't because of his upbringing. So when someone finally does come along and treats him like an actual human and gives him those basic human necessities, he's kinda already won. And from then, he just has to figure out what more to life there is. Another major difference between Denji and his fellow shonen peers is his attitude and the way he goes about things. Which is a long way of basically saying he's kind of a dick. He starts off very brash and self-centered. He's also a bit of a perv, which is sort of understandable since he's never really had any kind of contact with anyone of the opposite sex, like ever. But I can totally see how these traits can be a huge turnoff for people and why some might just write him off as an unlikable protagonist. But I disagree. Denji is actually my favorite character in the series. And no, not because he's horny. It's because of the development that he goes through and how his views of the world and himself change by the end of the story. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll leave it at that. And if you're still not sold on Denji yet, well, there's a massive cast of other likable and relatable characters to root for as well. Denji isn't in the devil hunting business alone. He's teamed up with Aki, a pretty serious and edgy at times partner who uses devil contracts to fight, rather than having a set of powers himself. He starts out pretty abrasive too, and saying him and Denji butt heads in the beginning is a bit of an understatement. Then there's also Power, a battle-crazed blood fiend who Aki and Denji team up with, who also has a hard time meshing with everyone's personalities. Now, watching these three idiots bounce off of each other, both figuratively and literally, is pretty funny, and makes them a pretty good trio of protags. But what really makes them stand amongst the best is how they grow and develop. Each of them slowly starts to open up with each other, and they all learn to literally live with each other by the end, becoming not only better devil hunters, but better people because of it. And I haven't even said anything about Makima yet. And I don't think I will, since everything about her is pretty much a massive spoiler. Just trust me when I say, you're gonna want to keep both of your eyes on her. There's a whole slew of other likable and funny characters, both protagonists and antagonists alike. I don't want to spend too much time on this, so just trust me when I say that Chainsaw Man's cast has no real bad characters. So let's talk about how it looks. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if it doesn't look appealing, then what's the point of picking it up, right? At first glance, Tatsuki Fujimoto's art might seem sloppy and jagged, especially compared to other cleaner and neater shonen stories. A lot of the lines are rough, and there's a lot going on during fight scenes since blood is constantly being splattered everywhere. It kinda makes it hard to tell who is winning and what's even happening, right?
What is that?
So in theory, this would make Chainsaw Man's art kinda sloppy and bad, right?
Right? Wrong!
I think Fujimoto is a genius for making Chainsaw Man's art so rough and sketchy. It perfectly fits the world's aesthetic, which is dark, grim, and gory. And oh my god, the fights. The fights! The fight scenes are Chainsaw Man's strongest selling point. It's bread and butter, and that's to be expected. This is a battle shonen after all. And coming from a series that's about a guy who pulls on a ripcord in his chest to sprout chainsaws from his arms and his head, you can expect some pretty brutal and gory scenes. Like, seriously, it's almost like reading something straight out of Doom. If the constant bloodshed and gore isn't enough for you, well, I'm happy to say there is a bit of strategy involved in the fights from time to time. Denji is a pretty straightforward guy. He pulls the cord, his chainsaws go vroom, and then he cuts people, and they usually die. But his chainsaws also cut him, so if he uses them for too long, he'll wind up losing too much blood and they'll end up retracting. But some devils in this universe have straight up JoJo's and Hunter x Hunter levels of power, where hacking and slashing just isn't enough, so Denji has to fight a little bit more wisely. And by fight a little bit more wisely, I mean he'll usually come up with the most insane use of his chainsaws to hack and slash some more, which is just as, if not more entertaining than the alternative. Chainsaw Man is really just the perfect manga. I mean, really, there's something in it for everyone. You want an untraditional yet still entertaining battle shonen? It's got that in spades. You want a light-hearted slice of life with character development and relationships? It's got that too. You want a funny sitcom about 3 roommates who don't get along while killing devils and occasionally each other? It's here too. You want an intense thriller and horror manga that'll leave you on the edge of your seat, or bed, or whatever you're reading it on? It's all here, man. And if you're one of those people who thinks, oh, books can't be scary, then you clearly haven't met the Darkness Devil. Chainsaw Man is a series that'll have you with a giant smile on your face 1 minute, then leaves you crying the next. And then by the end of it, you'll be rethinking about your own mortality and reality itself. Now look, I know that's a big claim, but trust me, you'll see once you get there. And look, I get it. Some of you might be waiting for the anime to actually start so you can witness the series that way. But honestly, I think it's better for you to read the manga first, since the series is even better on a second viewing. Chainsaw Man is one of those series that you'll easily miss things and not realize foreshadowing if you're not hanging on to every single little word a character says. And being a little confused isn't a bad thing at all. It's only natural not to pick up hints the first time around, which is why I think you'll love it even more if you read it and then watch it. I mean, waiting for the anime isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, it's not like a series this big and anticipated could ever have an anime season butchered compared to the manga. That's never happened before, right? There's so much more I wanted to discuss and show you guys, but that would spoil honestly some of the best surprises in fiction. So I'm gonna call it wraps here. Go, read Chainsaw Man, and then come and tell me what you think. And then we can all wait for the anime together, and pray that MAPPA employees don't fumble the bag after having to animate Attack on Titan, Hell's Paradise, Vinland Saga, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Chainsaw Man. Oh my god, please give these guys a break. Thanks so much for watching if you made it this far. And if you want to hear me spiel and rant on about other anime and manga topics, feel free to subscribe and leave a like on the video. While you're at it, leave a comment telling me what manga or anime topics you want to hear me talk about next. And with that, until next time folks, take care and peace